live on Instagram, YouTube, and the iHeartRadio app. Joining us in studio, of course, it's Thursday. Tech Thursday is Marsha Collier. Marsha, it's always great to see you. And from what I understand, you were listening to the show on the way in.
I was listening to the show, and my eyes were opened up because you're so absolutely right. Tom Cruise, I mean, think about it. The man broke his leg and he was acting.
Right.
He held onto a plane and he was acting. Now, I know people who can't chew gum and walk at the same time, right?
Look, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's the same as delivering your lines. You are still in character as part of your performance.
Exactly. And I don't know of any other actor who has done quite all that. And
not even close.
Anyone. So I think we should come up with a hashtag that we should start right here and now from the Mo Callie Show.
Okay.
And keep it up through the Oscar season.
Yes.
And hopefully everybody who's listening, you guys use it. Let's spread it around if you're a fan of Tom Cruise. And let's get this going. He deserves it.
We had talked about Tom Cruise, the number 4 Oscar.
Right.
Tom Cruise 4 Oscar. That's going to be the hashtag that we're using going forward.
Right.
And it'll track back to us. And when Tom gets his Oscar,
he can thank us.
That's right. He can talk about the online campaign started by later with Mo Kelly.
Should we put it in the Motown?
Yes. Carnisha, I think, is doing it right now.
Okay.
Tom Cruise, number 4 Oscar. We got some time. We got some time to build it up.
Get that hashtag out there.
That's right. And I don't think Mark, I don't think believe me, but I was being 100% serious.
No, and you are. And as I thought about it while we were driving here, I'm thinking he's absolutely right. I mean, Tom Cruise, aside from being incredibly handsome,
he all right.
I mean, that man has aged well.
Yes, he has.
But the point is, in all his movies, I mean, even in Top Gun, even in everything he does, he acts, and he's a believable character, and we're sympathetic to that character.
Never have I looked at the screen and said, oh, that's some stunt double. They turned the back of the head. You don't get to actually see him. They cut it. Right. Oh, that's CGI. That's not him on a motorcycle jumping off into a canyon.
Yeah, you have to look at it like, is he really doing that? Oh, my.
In every movie, it's not like it's a special project. In every single movie, with the exception of Top Gun Maverick, they were not allowed to fly the F-18s.
But no wonder he's such a pain in the butt on the set. If he's that much of a perfectionist, that he expects that much from himself.
The story that I heard, and I was going over it with Tuwala, was that in Mission Impossible 6, he's flying a helicopter in this canyon scene, chasing after Henry Cavill near the end of the movie. Originally, from what I was told, he was not going to be allowed by his stunt coordinator to actually fly the helicopter in like a dogfighting style. So Tom Cruise, who's not only the actor, but also the executive producer, he has some say in how the movie's going to be laid out. He fired the stunt coordinator, got someone who would get him some helicopter flight lessons. And when you see him in the movie, that's him flying the helicopter.
Kick-ass. I mean...
No, you can say that. You said it. Yes. Marsha Collier said kick ass on the radio.
I mean, that's it. That's having the balls to put your movie
Wait a minute, you're worried
together.
about kick ass but not balls?
Yeah, well, ass and balls, you have to think about them.
I'm just messing with you.
Mark is on one tonight.
I don't know. But really, Tom Cruise works it for the movies. I mean, he's the tempest storm of movies. And those who know who I'm talking about know what I'm talking about.
So you can see it on our YouTube chat. You can see it on our YouTube, they say lower third.
That's it.
Hashtag Tom Cruise number 4 Oscar. Tom Cruise for Oscar. We're starting it now. It's a real thing. We're going to make this happen. We want to make sure that Tom Cruise receives his flowers from the Motion Picture Academy this year.
So if you're on Facebook, X, or anything, and you see the paid promotion ads, start replying to them with your comment and our hashtag. And that will be they'll know about us right away.
Yes, they will. And this is just my small contribution to the glorification of Tom Cruise. It's the least I could do. And also, we talk about movies all the time and the combination of technology. And I got to say this before we go to break. I don't know if there's any better deal than going to a movie with all these stunts and a budget of maybe $250 million and you pay $20 to see that?
Right.
I don't know if there's any better.
Like, how much entertainment can you get for $20?
Not deservedly that. If you think about, you're not doing anything except putting down your $20 and sitting down
with a big barrel of popcorn.
I'm partial to hot dogs, but okay, you're popcorn. I'm hot dogs.
I love hot dogs too.
I got to have 2 hot dogs with just mustard and relish. That's it. No ketchup. I think Stefan likes ketchup on his hot dogs.
I do.
See, there's something wrong. Right. It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Come on.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
But I'm a popcorn guy.
Oh, yeah. You have to be a popcorn guy, and you have lots of that fake butter on it.
Ooh.
Yes. Slathered.
Oh.
Now, Mark Ronner and Twaller are going to see Mission Impossible Final Reckoning tonight at some god-awful time, like 1 a.m. 1 a.m.
You always enjoy yourself.
I can't get over the fact that they're going to come out at breakfast time.
It's a whole new day.
You mean cocktail hour?
We have decided at our house that we're going to make this a Mission Impossible weekend and see all the old ones.
No, that's what I did start off the show. I rewatched all of them starting on Monday to have everything fresh in my mind. And I have a greater appreciation of the series now because there's a continuity. There's a level of quality which is constant.
Exactly. Because he put it there. He put it there for us to see. He put in the effort. Let's take full advantage of this man's work.
Hashtag Tom Cruise #4 Oscar. Okay, we have to take a break. Marsha, Collier, when we come back, can we actually talk about some tech?
We have a little bit, but I'll go wild with it.
Okay. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, the iHeartRadio app. Remember, hashtag Tom Cruise, #4 Oscar.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, it's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app. It's Tech Thursday, so you know that means that Marsha Collier joins us in studio. Marsha, last segment we talked about Tom Cruise, hashtag Tom Cruise #4 Oscar. Let's talk a little bit about tech.
Well, I had all these pages of technology to talk about, and since we only have half the segment, I'm going to go a little bit rogue. It seems that Apple has decided not to go ahead right away with their new AR glasses.
I could see that given the problem they had with their last iteration of AR goggles.
Well, let me show you a pair of AR goggles that actually worked. I'm going to take off my headphones. Okay, so these are Google Glass.
I remember.
2013. And there's a little screen up here where if you look at a sign, it's in another language, it translates into English. You are lost, you call up a map on your phone, it'll come up here. You can follow the map. You can take movies. I did interviews with people with these that I used on the web.
Mm-hmm.
And these were truly AR.
Why do you think that they did not catch on in the way that Google had hoped? Were they just genuinely too early for their time?
Way
ahead
too
of the time?
early. Way too early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would believe that this piece right here is a sound condenser? So the sound goes through the bone in your head. You don't need an earpiece. I mean, how far ahead? This was 2013.
Mm-hmm. And you look at what Meta's doing with their glasses now, and you think Google just wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people were afraid, weren't they? I mean, people were afraid. Oh, no, you're going to be taking my picture. Remember?
Oh, I remember. And it was a big thing. Now it's like, please take my picture.
Yeah, they called us glass holes. They did. It was terrible. We were second class. I was in New York. I walked around New York. I walked around China with these on. This is true AR, and it only weighs a few ounces.
I wonder if Google is going to have some sort of updated version of that technology, because Meta has leaned heavily into AR and also their glasses, which have all sorts of multifunctionality, but not Google. Apple, we were talking about, they have, but not Google. I wonder why.
I think they should, and I think they are. because I know there was several industrial versions of Google Glass that are used in machining and surgery for doctors to look and see inside bodies. I think it's still valuable. But do people want to walk around with something that looks like this? I don't mind.
See, that's the thing. And I think that is the appeal and allure of Meta's glasses. And if you don't know, they have a partnership with Ray-Ban. And from just first glance, they look like just a pair of Ray-Ban glasses. So you're not drawing attention to yourself.
Except you know that those two little dots in the front are cameras that are going to take pictures of it.
But if you know what you're looking for, but the glasses themselves don't draw attention.
I am a huge fan. Bose has a pair of Ray-Ban style glasses that are Bluetooth, that when I'm taking my walks, I can play my music through the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's all I need. I don't need really to be taking pictures. I mean, this was nice with the maps and everything like this, but I don't really think they can do it in the right size and weight that people want, like in a Ray-Ban style glass. I mean, they did it once. I don't know where the technology went. It's like, we don't remember how we got to the moon.
But you mentioned the weight. The weight does matter. When we tried Apple's AR,
oh my goodness,
it felt like it was a boulder on our head wrapped around our neck, and it was way too heavy. So all those things really do matter. But I do believe that more products are about timing, and there's being a willingness by the public to adopt new technology. Now people are willing to adopt AR goggles. Now people are willing to wear glasses, multifunctional glasses and what have you, computer lenses on some level. We were talking about Mission Impossible, and prominently featured in Mission Impossible is a contact lens, which is basically a shrunken down version of a Google Glass, what Google Glass could do.
Right.
So we all know where the technology is actually headed. It's just that whether we, the general public, are willing to buy in.
But this was in 2013, and people were so, I don't even know the word to use, that they put them down so badly, and they never really went public because people were so anti them.
It's a different generation now. There's a literal different generation of tech buying people who are open to things now that we weren't 10, 12 years ago. Now we use social media more than ever before, less so in 2013. Now we had social media platforms, but they weren't integrated in every aspect of our lives, professionally and personally, like they are now.
Well, what was really cool also on these glasses is I have they're sunglass lenses that you can snap into these and wear them like sunglasses. So this was the multi-purpose thing. I don't know where Google, I believe in you. This was a great product. I don't know where you got it. It's like probably hidden away somewhere, or you're planning something really big, but we're waiting for it.
Marsha, you're a student of technology as I am. And if we remember how technology evolves, it's almost never the company which starts it or invents it or first publicizes it which gets the greatest benefit from it. Like if I were to tell you cellular phone, people probably think Motorola. Where are they now? If I were to tell you music synthesizer, it would be Moog. Where are they now?
Motorola just came out with a new flip phone.
Right, but they're not a market leader in any way.
No. And as a matter of fact, Gemini, we were going to talk about Android Google I.O., which we will talk about next week. Sergey Brin, one of the founders of Google, showed up there for a panel discussion on Gemini AI. And I have found Gemini AI, it's a little pushy, but it's very good. It's very good.
Marsha Collier, very quickly, how can people find you and also find your books?
I am on the dreaded X at Marsha Collier. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. And my books, just search Marsha Collier on Amazon, and you will be shocked. My current book is Android Smartphones for Seniors for Dummies, and it's really not just for seniors. It's for dummies.
Marsha Collier, I told you off air, now I'm telling you on air. My mother loves you, loves hearing you on this show. And she watches us now because she watches the YouTube show on her smart TV. She logs into the YouTube app and watches the show on her smart TV. And I think that's due in large part to the tech conversations that I've had with her through you, and she thoroughly enjoys her technology.
We need to empower everybody to use the tech because it will improve your life.
Marsha, see you next week.
See you next week.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly, live on YouTube, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app. And we have this ongoing conversation. Our economy is evolving. You can't point to one thing necessarily. You can't point to another thing necessarily. So for a variety of things. For example, JCPenney is closing stores nationwide this week, in a total of 7 stores, 1 in California. And you might think, JCPenney is still in business? Yeah, just barely. Probably just circling the drain like a lot of retailers these days. And you can say, well, it's the economy, it's the tariffs. Yes, no, maybe so. It's a little bit more complicated than that. You can look at a store like JCPenney and ask yourself, is there anything that I would buy at JCPenney that I can't get online? Is there anything that I would buy at JCPenney that I would not buy online and also get quicker than if I drove my ass to JCPenney, waited in line, hopefully they have my size, I don't know in advance, and then drive home? What is the upside? And it's not just about JCPenney. It's what's the upside to go to any big box retailer? It could be JCPenney today, but it could be Best Buy tomorrow. It could be, I don't know, a Kohl's. It could be any place where heretofore we had to go to the store to get what we wanted. That time is gone. I could actually, no, as a matter of fact, I have actually done my shopping from this chair, from the studio, during the show, on multiple occasions. Oh, I just forgot. I need to order this. I'll do it during the break. Oh, I forgot. I got to get some toothpaste. My wife said to bring home that. And I can order it from Amazon. And if it doesn't arrive that day, depending on how early in the day I order it, I may get it the next day. And you know what? I've saved myself the trouble of driving to a store, possibly not having it, and then having to drive back. JCPenney is fighting an uphill battle that it's never going to win. And JCPenney is just the latest example of how stores like it are going to be downsizing consistently. And it's not just JCPenney. When I say it's a complicated discussion, it's not just this, not just that. I mentioned Target earlier in the evening. Target at the moment is not closing stores, but Target is struggling. The reason why Target is struggling is not why Target says it's struggling. Target has had a number of problems, and they may want to point the finger at tariffs. No. Target doesn't get that. They don't get that latitude because people have been boycotting Target for the better part of 6 or 7 months. And since they have been boycotting Target, Target did not meet its revenue earnings expectation, its projection. And Target, I think, someone look it up for me, but I think the CEO lost like 70% of his pay, which was tied to revenue projections. It was a huge number. Can't blame that on the tariffs. But Target, just like other retailers, they're dealing with an evolving economy. They're dealing with a customer base who is very angry at Target. Go ahead, Stephan, you're going to say?
It says his pay decreased by 45% in 2024, reaching $9.9 million. Mm-hmm. And like you said, this reduction was due to the company's financial struggles, including missing performance targets.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with tariffs.
Nope.
And we can talk about how tariffs will have an actual impact on businesses. And I said a few weeks ago, the rubber's going to meet the road, and we're going to see how all this is going to shake out. I know that the president has told some businesses just eat the tariffs. I think Walmart said that they're not going to raise their prices. I think they said they're not going to raise their prices. But my point is, that's a discussion which is clearly connected to tariffs. Target's issues are not connected to tariffs. Now, tariffs may make their issues worse, but that's different from what JCPenney is going through. And that's different from what Walmart is going through. But our economy, taking it back up to the top, is ever evolving. How we as consumers find our goods, how we choose to spend our money is completely different now. We can shop anywhere, anytime, on any electronic device, provided we have internet connection, and don't need to actually walk our ass into any store. And, like or loathe Amazon, they beat everyone to this. They saw the evolution of our economy. They saw how people as consumers want the convenience of being able to buy anything and everything without having to sacrifice their time to go get something. Now, we didn't have the infrastructure around the .com boom. I remember you had all these websites like groceries.com, and they failed because people didn't trust the idea of getting groceries via the internet. Now, you got DoorDash. You got all these places which will get your food and shop for you and bring it to you, and we're comfortable with it. Why? Because now we're used to it.
That goes to your point about people that start it are rarely the ones that actually succeed.
True.
Because we had all these delivery services 10 years ago, but like you said, no one trusted them. And now we have someone shopping for us.
I distinctly remember I refused to buy clothes that I had not tried on in advance. Like, I'm not going to buy a pair of shoes on the internet. How am I supposed to know that they actually fit? Then when you had retailers like Nike or Adidas having these extensive online presences, then I can say, wait a minute. Okay, I know my size, and I know my size at Nike. I could maybe find the shoe that I want, and since I know the size, let me just go ahead and see if I can buy it. And then the experience was good enough for me to try it again. But it took me a long time to get there. A long time. Seriously, I was not going to buy a pair of shoes. Like, what am I supposed to do? And also, the return policy wasn't where it is now. Like Amazon, look, I got a shirt off Amazon, and it was my fault. I put in the wrong size, but I never returned anything. So Amazon was nice enough to say, just go ahead and keep it. We'll refund your money. And if you use Amazon, you know what I'm talking about. Now, my wife, she would be returning stuff every single day. So, no, I don't like it.
That was going to be my next point is that, women that do the try-on hauls and stuff, they'll buy a bunch of clothes, see what fits. You're
sexist. We're going to be the women. What about the men?
See what fits, and then what doesn't fit, they're able to just return it, and then that's it. And it's the convenience of being able to do it all online.
Wait, this is what my wife does. There's nothing illegal, but this is what she does. In her goings around, she may stop by a store, and she'll see something that she likes, and then she'll get the SKU number, and she'll see where she can find it for less. And while she's in the store, she'll either get it off Amazon or some other location and then undercut the store that she's actually in and not make the purchase there.
That's just smart.
It is smart. But that's how retailers like a JCPenney or a Target or a Walmart now have to compete. And I learned it from her. Whenever I see anything, it's like, let me use my Google Lens, going back to our tech conversation, see what that item is at some other location, physical location, or online, and then I'll just go ahead and buy it for a lesser price from my phone as opposed to going to the register, because I know I'll get it in a day or two at most. And I'll also save money, free delivery. It's kind of hard to beat Amazon right now. With all these, and I'm not saying that I'm ignorant to the problems that employees have. I'm not pushing that aside. I'm just saying as a consumer, I get the appeal. And it took me a long time to get there because I was eBay everything. Now I'm like eBay nothing because eBay takes too freaking long. If I need something very obscure, I'll still do eBay. But if I need something like tomorrow, I need some toothpaste or something. And with my job, I forgot to go to the store. I don't want to go to the store on the way home. Click, 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 click. It's on the way. It'll be there in the morning. Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah, because Mark, don't you use eBay for like your collection stuff?
I use eBay to buy up the childhood I was denied. I don't buy it for anything I need urgently.
If you can be patient, eBay is perfect for that.
It's perfect for like old James Bond posters. Okay,
very niche stuff.
Yeah.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. Our economy is continuing to evolve. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, and Instagram. And when we come back, by the way, Nike, since I mentioned them, they're getting ready to raise their prices, but they're saying specifically it's because of the tariffs. We'll get into that next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. It's Later with Mo Kelly, live on Instagram, YouTube, and the iHeartRadio app. Another company which is having to adjust in this moment of economic uncertainty, my phrase, Nike. I'm a Nike guy through and through. I buy nothing but Nike shoes when it comes to athletic wear. I'm not an Adidas guy. My wife is Adidas. I'm Nike. So I am super sensitive to anything that happens at Nike. Nike says that it's going to have to raise prices over the Trump tariffs. If you know anything about footwear, especially athletic wear, most of our sports shoes, or sneakers as they call them, are made in Asia, mostly in China, Taiwan, those countries. And if there's any type of tariff which is going to be put on China or Hong Kong or Taiwan, that cost is going to be passed on to us as a consumer. Now, we've heard President Trump ask certain companies to just eat the tariffs. I don't know why he would say that if the country's supposedly paying the tariffs, but we've told him all along that we as the consumer are going to have to pay the tariffs. Why? Because companies want to maintain their profit margins. And Chris 777 in the YouTube chat said Nike has a 98% profit margin, but want to pass the tariffs on to its customers. Well, I thought this was the land of capitalism. Why is the company going to do something out of the goodness of its heart when they know that you, the customer, are still going to pay it? Now, you can vote with your feet. You can either pay it or not pay it. If you are like me, you know anything about Nike, none of their shoes are cheap. They are not cheap. Now, if an extra $10, $15 or whatever the tariff may turn into is the breaking point for you, then don't support the company. Don't buy the product. It's just that simple. But if you are expecting corporate America to do things for the benefit of customers and not their bottom line, you are deluding yourself. They are in the business of making money. They are in the business of meeting their revenue projections and also satisfying their shareholders. Nike is a publicly traded company. They have revenue projections. And if they don't make their revenue projections because they don't want to pass along the increased cost of production vis-a-vis tariffs, well, you know, you're expecting the wrong thing to happen. They're in the business of making money, not doing things to help your bottom line, but to help their bottom line. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. Try to tell you. Go ahead.
I hadn't really planned on chiming in here, but isn't telling a company how much they can and should charge sort of communism? Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
By the way, I don't understand this brand loyalty you have to Nike and your wife to Adidas. I think I'm wearing Skechers right now, but I couldn't care less, and there's no way on earth I would get in some kind of Sharks and Jets knife fight over who has the better shoes.
No, well, it's not better. Remember, I love Skechers as well. But when it comes to sportswear, it's Nike. One, its shoes, which we're specifically talking about, they're wider. I think I'm like an E width.
Okay, so you have flippers.
Yeah, pretty much. So That is why I prefer Nike. That fits my foot better than Adidas, which happen to be much more narrow.
That's all it is how the shoe fits? There's no...
If the shoe fits.
Okay. All right.
And it fits. Thank you very much.
That is not a rim shot.
Yes,
that is absolutely not a rim shot.
It was an artful inclusion of a common phrase in our lexicon.
If you say so.
Real quick, talking about why Nike should or should not fork over, their earnings to take care of us. There's a company I told you about when the tariffs were first going into place where I ordered this limited edition action figure and the company said, hey, we're sorry, with these tariffs, the price is going to go up, blah, 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 blah. They just did an email saying, even with the tariffs coming back down slightly, they are still going to be in the red for production. They said in order to be people of their words, they're going to keep the cost that we originally were quoted the same, but it's going to cause them to go out of business. So this is a grand opening, grand closing sale. They are still going to ship the figures out for what they were quoted, but it's going to be too cost prohibitive for them to stay in business to fulfill all the orders.
Are some businesses probably using the tariffs as a fake excuse to charge more money to consumers? Probably. But at the same time, I'm not going to fault a company for being unwilling to make less money. They're putting it to you. You don't have to pay the higher prices, but you can't be expecting them to roll over to make you less comfortable. When I say I'm a capitalist, that's a part of it. It's like the business gets to decide and then the market gets to decide.
I think we need to know after all that what this figure is that Tawal is buying.
I think it's a blow-up doll, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course it is.
Yes, trade overseas. Those are hard to make.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
We're watching everything, so you can watch your sanity.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.